and never expect anything back. And I thought that's good advice.
It is. It's sound advice. Yeah.
Always be good to people. Always be, try to be uplifting to people. Try to be good to people. Try to lend a helping hand when you see someone struggling. If you can help them, help them.
Right.
Do something for someone.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in society now, people they just kind of, they see someone struggling, they see someone in need, and they just kind of keep walking.
I was going to say, and I was actually going to say the exact same thing about the societal norm now, is that nobody trusts anybody. Nobody's willing to help. Everybody kind of wants more bang for their buck, and I think that's what we need to get back to. This whole show it seemed to turn and kind of be about family, and that's what my grandmother told me. My father asked her on her birthday, what do you want to say? What have you learned after this many years on this planet? And her response was, family's the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's it. Something simple, and it's so true. Mm-hmm. And whether or not family doesn't necessarily have to be blood. I mean, it's Asian Andy is I consider my brother because he's around. He's been around for a lot of stuff, and he's been around for me a lot, and he's helped me through some times. Same with Junior, obviously. I mean, those guys, they're not related to me by blood or by genetics, but they're there and they're family definitely. Mm-hmm. So. Oh yeah, there's people in your
that just because they're not blood related. I mean, there's some people that I am blood related to that I'm like, I want to be, I couldn't be further away from them. They're the worst examples of that's not how I want to be.
Right.
And some of them actually, ironically, are the ones who motivated me into a mindset where I was several years ago. I was like, I don't want to end up like them.
Right.
I better, and it kind of kicked my pants. That was the some of the factors that were like, I need to change or I'm going to end up like this person. Or
no, absolutely.
Person. And I know that they're not even listening to the show, so it doesn't matter anyway. But I mean, it's just the exact opposite of the things that we talk about.
Right. No. Right.
So what I want to say to my daughter is that obviously, number one, I love her, and just understand and know that you can do anything you set your mind to. And I guess I'm sounding a little repetitive from before, but you're only limited by the beliefs that you adapt to, that you adhere to. So. And plant into your mind seeds of greatness and know that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. Set goals, achieve goals, push through obstacles, and have a success type mindset. Read the type of books that are going to change your mind and give you the mindset that you need to succeed. And look at others. Follow the ingredients of success are so simple to follow. And it's just applying yourself. So set goals, but then take action.
Right.
So if that's the two things I guess you wanted to say, a lot of people set goals and they don't do anything.
No, right.
And then they wonder why life's not changing.
Yeah, they look at it and they say, "Oh, what did we say in the first show? That I think I'm gonna," type of deal, right? Yeah. And then you never do it. So, but yeah, I think it's all about action. I think, and that's what I think that's the thing that to impart to children, not just my children or Madeline, but to all people should be imparting that to their children. I think go out there, do it. You can be successful no matter what, as long as you keep that mindset.
Yeah, and pass that on. Like, you just keep building yourself up and understand. Yes, there's going to be struggles. Just that mindset doesn't mean you're not going to have problems.
Yeah,
you're going to, but it's how you handle them. It's how you perceive them.
Right.
And then and what can you learn from them? So take these challenges, learn from them. Know that maybe possibly what you were doing is not working. Be flexible, change it, take a different approach until you get the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, and I think that it's funny because I don't think that people are imparting that. I think that people are using social media, movies, TV shows, etc., to kind of let that be the teacher now. Because just not too long ago, I was working out in Schaumburg. This was a couple years back. And I remember several years back, I would drive through this neighborhood to cut from Route 47 over to Randall Road. And so I'd cut through there, and this was years ago. And you'd see kids outside playing. You'd see parents out there at the park with their kids. Everybody's goofing around. Everybody's running around out there playing ball or swimming in the pools that you can see on the roadway. And then just a couple years ago, I drove through the same neighborhood. Middle of summer, middle of the day. Nobody. Not a single soul outside. I don't know where any of those kids are. Like, were they all inside hanging out? Were the parents all at work doing whatever? But to me, I think that, I mean, that's my goal, is to be able to be that parent that can be home and not have to be necessarily at, quote unquote, my office job all the time. I can be home with them and be doing whatever. Or even if I have a job where I can take them along with me type of deal. So I want to be, family togetherness is my main focus at this point.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I want to spend more time with my family.
Yeah, and we still got to get Gus and Madeline, hooked up so they can meet and play and stuff. Because we said this the other day. I'm surprised that we haven't yet.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's strange, yeah. So,
but that is, again, it's just we're busy.
That's just time, yeah. That's not because I'm like, oh, that Scott guy. Jeez, I see him enough on Monday nights.
Think about how much time we used to spend together.
Yeah,
and it just because we would be at the same place every Saturday night.
Yeah, same place at the same time. So
and so we hung out a lot then. But
we did.
Have changed.
Yeah,
a lot changes. Yeah, when you get married. Not even when you get married. When Melinda and I got married, we were still doing what we were doing, but then it's the children.
Yeah, it's the kids that change.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
I wouldn't. And I know you've said that you've been out to the bar since you've had Madeline. Obviously not with Madeline, but since you've had her, and it's a different style, like lifestyle now, isn't it? Because I've been out to the bar with Katie, and I'm like, why did I spend so much time in the bar when I was younger? Like, it's just, and I don't know, maybe are we old now? Is that what's going on? Or
that is funny, and you didn't know this, bringing that up, but I went to the bars on Saturday.
Did you really?
Night. Yeah, and I haven't been, dude, I have not been out in a long time. I mean, I'm talking a very long time. I was shocked to see how different the bars are.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them have changed names, changed ownership, changed
Were you in Woodstock?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dude, all of them. Like, they're all new. They're all, like, everything's brand new and different. And
they're all a ghost town. I don't know how it was when you were out, but there was the last few times I've gone out. Normally I'm going out for dinner. We stop at, like, the public house, or not the public house, the poorhouse now. All the names have changed.
The names have changed.
Or DC Cobb's, and we'll grab food. But, we'll be there on a Friday night till 9 o'clock or so. And I remember I was like, man, when I was younger and would be going out to the bar, this place would be hopping at that time. There'd be like 400 people packed into this little place, everybody sweaty, dancing, drunk, whatever. Bands playing in the background, or the jukebox as loud as you could go, people doing karaoke and all that stuff. And I was out there, I looked around, I'm like, there are maybe 17 people in this bar, and all of them look like they're 12.
That's a weird thing, too, and that's got to be because we're older. But, you'd see 21-year-olds, and I'm like, is that what 21-year-old chicks
is that what I look like? Right?
Yeah. It's just weird because, it's like, wow, they look very, very young. Like, you would think, like, high school age. It just, it didn't. All of it was odd, and it felt almost sad because for the first time probably in my whole life, like, I mean, I pride myself on the fact that I try to look young and feel young and act young, and I really do. It's not fake. I feel young. I do. I feel the same, but I walked into that bar, and for the first time in my life, I'm like, man, I feel old.
Yeah, oh yeah,
it felt weird.
It does. It feels totally weird. And then the bartender at one of the places I was at, they came up to the front and they're like, "Can I get you a drink?" I'm like, "Are you even old enough to drink yourself?" Like, and they've got they're all like the hipsters with the big glasses, and they hit you at like her hair all goofy and whatever. I'm like, where did I walk into? Seriously, is this a time warp? What? So it was a rude awakening the first time that I went out to the bar after having kids. I was like, holy cow.
Another weird thing too is, like, I could walk into any bar in Woodstock, and I would at least find 2 or 3 people that in any bar. Yeah. And, hey, Scott, what's like, I walked in all of them just kind of looking around, and I'm like, wow, I don't recognize one person in any one of these bars. Yeah,
and I felt the same. Well, obviously, I was Mr. Woodstock for a while because I was working at the Opera House, the bookstore, living on the square. I was out every night, and it was literally, my wife used to hate going out with me when we first started dating because walking from my apartment to, say, DC Cobb's or someplace down in that general region, I'd get stopped 50 times. People would be like, "Hey, Josh, what's going on? What's going on at the bookstore? What's happening at the opera?" And it took us like an hour to make it across the square.
Yeah.
Now it's like you walk in and you're like, who's that guy?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
If anybody even says, who's that guy? People don't even notice me now. So
It's like Norm walking into Cheers and no one screams out, "Hey, Norm!"
Right.
Like that's what I felt like. I'm like, does anyone know that I'm here?
Right.
Like no one's going to acknowledge me.
It's funny you say
Hello?
that because the first time we ever met, and I remember this distinctly, we had been going to Superstars at the same time. But we had never really like hung out, you and I and Junior and Melinda, and I had Asian Andy with me all the time. We never really hung out. We were always at the bar at the same time, but never talked. And I had gone through a breakup, and I had taken some time off of the bar scene. I was kind of just at home, like, milling around, whatever. And I remember Asian Andy coming up to me at one point, coming up to my apartment. And
Your phone.
Is that my phone?
Yeah.
Not my phone.
I don't think it's. I think it's because it's too close.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be going off.
Sorry. Anyway, I got sidebarred there, but so he came up to my apartment. He's like, "No, we're going out. You're gonna get out of this funk. You're gonna go out with, and we're gonna hang out, whatever." And so finally, he persuaded me with a couple shots that we had at my house, and we went downstairs to Superstars. And keep in mind, I hadn't been there for like a couple months, and I remember walking in to the side door there, and it was a Cheers moment. That's the best way to describe it, because me and Andy walked in the side door, and everybody in the place turned and looked at us. And I remember everybody going, "It's Josh and Asian!" And like everybody's like, "Woo!" And I remember you, Melinda, Junior, I think Sam was there. You guys had like a table up front, and then we said it went from Cheers to Goodfellas because you guys pulled up chairs and you made us sit. We sat at the table with you, and that was the first time we ever really like hung out. And that, talk about never going to happen in Woodstock, at least right now. If I walked into a bar, you ever see the movie Kingpin?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where Woody Harrelson walks in and he thinks he's all, he's going to have this same thing happen. He grabs the guy's hot dog. He's like, "What are you doing?" That's how I feel now if I was to walk into a bar in Woodstock.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's just crazy how times change.
Times do change, and time goes by a lot faster than you think.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I was reminded of that this weekend. It felt very odd, felt
Yeah.
very weird. And I didn't even go to drink. I did have 2 beers. I literally had just 2 beers.
Right.
That's not why I was there. I was there for a different reason, but yeah, and then I just kind of took a stroll through memory lane,
right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Wow, this is so." It felt like a weird. I was going through a different dimension of like,
Yeah.
this isn't the bar that it was before,
Right.
like Trackside, for example.
Oh,
Have you
gosh.
been? It's
Yeah,
Bet-
I've been in there.
Benton-
Ortman's now.
No, Benton Street Tap, I think it's called, something like that. Trackside? Or,
No,
I'm sorry,
Trackside was the cabin is
yeah, but I'm thinking of Town Tap.
Town Tap. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That-
Oh yeah.
It's classy now.
Yeah, it is. It's got
like that used to be a dive.
It used to be the dive.
The
Like
dive.
it was, you could go in there, and I remember seeing people out there drinking at like, I would go do my laundry. There used to be a laundromat right on the corner there.
Yeah.
Seeing people out there at like 6 o'clock in the morning, still hammered, whatever. And now you walk in there, it looks nice. They got all hardwood floors. It's a legit place.
Very classy.
Same with Trackside, which was where
Yeah.
we did. They used to have the really bad karaoke.
Yeah.
And now you go in, and it was all, I remember it was just all concrete floor that was all like kind of divoted and just gross. And the bathrooms were disgusting, and it just it smelled like a urinal patty all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in there a couple years back, and I mean, they made that place look fantastic
Yeah.
as well. And now they got outdoor seating and everything, and of course, that's where all of the 12-year-olds hang out now, because I walked in there and it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So,
And I wonder too, like if it helped define the characteristics of the bar, like those dive bars.
oh yeah.
And now, is it because we don't hang out there that it's like, wow, what happened? This is weird, or is it because, you know what I mean? What's better?
Yeah,
You know?
to me, a dive bar is always better. The old man bar, as they call
It
it, hole in
creates
the
a
wall.
character.
It does, yeah. And I mean, you would go in there, and well, you remember years and years ago, DC Cobb's, before it was taken over by Dan Hart. That was the place where all of the just dregs of society would go, like way back in the day.
including us.
Yeah, well, clearly, right. I mean,
Right.
that's where all the fun was. But,
Yeah.
but I remember, when it was taken over, just the riffraff was just cleaned out of there. It was just pushed out, and I don't know exactly what bar they went to after that. But I remember walking into, it was like a scene out of a movie. I remember walking into Cobb's after it was taken over, and the bouncer had this guy in like a full Nelson, like just with his arms under his, or the bouncer's arms under the other guy's arms, and his fingers locked behind his neck, and just pushing this guy outside, and just tossed him and was like, "Don't come back."
Yeah, that hurt when I hit the sidewalk.
I was like, "Dude, what's going on? How you doing?"
Yeah.
But
Let me help you up.
Yeah, right. Let me help you up. You want to go back in and get a drink? No. But no, I mean, and they cleaned it up, and really a lot of the bars in Woodstock have been cleaned